You might have noticed in my last two videos, I'm giving you Mother Earth, Bag Lady, Erykah Badu vibes, one with nature. And that's partly because I like the way head wraps look on me, and then that's also partly because I look like I'm going to shave Mister underneath this head wrap. And I just don't know if I'm ready for you all to know me like that. So, and actually the head wrap is apropos to the story that I am going to share with you all today. Hey y'all, it's PS Love Jess of preeminentsoul.com, and I am here today to share with you all my first story time, because it really was the best of times, but it was also the absolute worst of times, in this cautionary tale on my failures and successes switching to all natural deodorant. So the impetus for me switching to all natural deodorant was my children. I started having children. I knew I was gonna nurse. All of that's kind of like interconnected. So I'm like, let me switch to to all natural deodorant, because that's just like, it's a good thing to do, right? So I did a little bit of research, but I did not do my due diligence, which is so strange to me because I know how to research, right? I'm an educator. I research for my job. I had to research in graduate school. I had to research in college. Like, I am a good researcher. I can figure out who that random person on your Facebook page that you knew in high school and keeps writing these cryptic messages about how they can't believe somebody would hurt them and pray for them and don't ask me any questions. Like, I can figure out what they're talking about, but I couldn't figure out what to do with this deodorant thing, which is just, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I should have scrolled to page 2, I think, and page 3, and the problem was I stopped at page 1 in my research. Sad, sad day. Why would I do that? So I was finished with maternity leave, back at work, and I thought for some strange reason, now is the perfect time for me to try this. Who thinks that? I'm unsure. So first day was fine. The second day was fine. The third day, I'm walking to my office, hey girl, oh hey, all is well. And I'm sitting down, I'm doing my work. I have a little rolly chair, like a little spinny chair, right? So I'm sitting there, and I think I might have spun to a drawer to get something out. And then when I spun back, something floated like a butterfly and stung me like a bee right up in here in this olfactory region. It was must. So I'm like, I'm the only person in my office. Did somebody come? Oh, I'm musty. I'm musty. So I'm dumbfounded at this point because what? Like, I'm too old for this. And I just told y'all I'm not really like a musty person. Fairy tales and fallacies. So I'm trying to figure out, what has gone wrong. And I'm like, okay, so this is what I thought. And now I'm sitting at work, musty. And this was pre-COVID, so I'm meeting with people. Like, people come into my space. And my space is not a large space. I have a private office, but it's not large. I'm like, okay, so this is embarrassing. And then my armpits decided to kick a player while she was down. So I'm like staring out the window, reflecting over how I got to this point. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing Marvin's room. And I'm like, Marvin's room? And it was my armpits. And they said, I'm just saying you can do better. Oh. Oh. Okay. I see. The unmitigated gall of it all really is just, it's incredibly disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, how do you turn on the person that takes care of you, To me? Okay. So my first thought is, what can I do? I don't want to go to the store because the all-natural deodorant that I had was at home, and they also tell you don't apply it for the first 30 days because it's like you're wasting it. So I go to the bathroom, and it's like a scene from American Gangster. I'm in there blotting my armpits, blot, 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 blot. And I thought, like, okay, no water, because if I put water on there, then the bacteria just multiplies and it's gonna power up on me. Then I'm really gonna be in there smelling. So I'm blotting and I go back to my office, and it does help. It cuts it a little bit. But now I'm in my office meeting with people and not moving the top half of my body. So they're asking me something, or I need to move and get something, and I'm like a robot trying to keep my armpits tight, close together. Looking crazy, really, is what it boils down to, but that's okay. So the day ends, and I'm going to my car, and of course somebody wants to stop and talk to me, and I'm not actually even trying to move my lips. I don't want nothing on the top half of me moving, because I just feel like I'm gonna sweat or something, and it's just gonna come together, and then I'm gonna be smelling. And thankfully, I talked to my colleague, and she never smelled it, and my husband, who's also very sensitive to smells, he never smelled it. But my colleague was like, Jessica, you know there's a detox process, like it's at least 30 days. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So at that point, I was like, nope, we start, like, party's over. Like, we're not gonna do this. So I started putting on regular deodorant. And I thought, take a shower, put on regular deodorant, and I'm fine. Do you know, even after going 3 days without wearing deodorant, when I put the deodorant on the 4th day, I was still musty? And it took me like 3 days to not be musty anymore. Now, I say musty again. People told me they could not smell me, but I could smell it. It was smelling like I had 4 types of onions under my arms. Like they had been sauteed, caramelized, minced, and fried. And it just was, it was not who I am as a person, really, honestly, truly. So that was a fail, and I felt some type of way, but I was not going to be defeated. So when I had my daughter, I'm like, okay, I'm on maternity leave. I'm not gonna be around people. We're gonna run this back. So I tried it again, and something told me, Jessica, this time, I know you're not doing a bentonite clay mask under your arms every day or every week. I'm just not gonna do that. But try some apple cider vinegar with the mother. And that little voice was right. I don't know who the mother is in apple cider vinegar. I don't know how she got there. I don't know much about her, but I do know that if you get a little cotton ball, put some apple cider vinegar on it, and pat it under your arms prior to going anywhere, she's gonna hold you over. She's gonna hold you over for a good 24 hours. If you are doing rigorous exercise, maybe a good 12 hours. So yes, you're gonna smell like rancid apple cider vinegar for like 5 minutes, but that's a small price to pay to not smell like a burger joint all day. Cause that's just not, that's less than ideal for me. So I successfully switched to natural deodorant, and then I ran into another problem because I guess my armpits just didn't want to allow me to be great. So I tried this first deodorant, and it was supposed to be like baking soda free, all natural, aluminum free, all of that. And it worked for like 3 weeks. And then on week 4, I broke out in a very terrible rash under my armpits. So then I couldn't put any deodorant on because I didn't want to continue to irritate the rash, and I wanted the rash to clear up before I switched to a new deodorant. So now I use a deodorant called Each and Every, and I've been using that since I've been natural, which has been a year or so, maybe. Yeah, maybe a year or so. I use Each and Every, and it has worked wonders, and I still actually shave my armpits and don't apply deodorant, and I am okay. But the journey to get there was filled with ups and downs and swift transitions. So I would encourage you, if you are thinking about switching, stay the course. Get you some apple cider vinegar with the mother. She needs to be present again. And make it work for the hot 30 days, and then start applying the deodorant. Don't be overly confident like I was in my body, and then I was betrayed deeply. But that's okay. We've moved forward. We've moved past that, and we're doing really well right now, and we love each other. We're in this for the long haul. So that is my story about my transition to natural deodorant. Take heed. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Did your parents ever tell you that? Mine used to tell me that all the time. Anyway, I'm sure I will be back for another story time in the future because this was kind of fun. And I like telling stories. So tell me this. Are you considering switching to natural deodorant? Have you switched to all natural deodorant? What kind do you use? Did you have a similar experience? And if you do plan on switching, use apple cider vinegar and let me know how it works. All right, y'all have a fantastic day and I will see you soon. Bye.